the HomeTech Podcast for Friday, May 3rd. From Sarasota, Florida, I'm Seth Johnson.
From Reynoldsburg, Ohio, I'm TJ Huddleston.
And from Pickering, Ontario, I'm Gavin Campbell.
And welcome to the HomeTech Podcast all about home automation, home technology, and stickers? Yeah, we're still doing stickers. TJ has been mailing out stickers, supposedly. I don't know. No.
So here's the thing. I'm going to mail all the stickers out at like one time. And Seth was giving me grief. He's like, well, when's one time? You know, one time is whenever I guess people stop sending us messages. I don't know.
No, you can't mail that. Then you never know.
I was probably going to wait like 3 weeks. So I think we've done it for 2 weeks now. This will kind of be the third week. So I'll probably start mailing them out next week.
For those of you in Australia, won't get it for another 5 weeks, though.
Yeah. It happens. I mean, and it's funny, too, because half of them are to overseas. So I honestly don't know how long it's going to take. I'm going to put a little message in there that says when it was mailed out. And you have to respond to tell. Well, yeah, but I'm not going to be able to tell.
There's going to be so much in these. And we talked about putting little ferrets in there for them, too.
I'm going to put an AirTag in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should put AirTags in there.
Everybody gets an AirTag.
Just not Pennsylvania. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Pennsylvania. But no, here we'll send them out probably next week. So it's depending on when Seth gets this out, he probably won't get it out till next week. So I don't know if we'll get any more emails, but
we seem to get a lot of emails. I think we're still going to get more emails every time we release a podcast or whenever Seth gets around to it. It seems like we get a little flood of emails saying, I want a sticker too, like.
It's like people are listening to it.
I know. It gives you a warm feeling that, people can relate to my printer problems.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Everybody loves stickers. If there's anything I've learned is that if you give somebody free stickers, they will take them no matter what they say and no matter their size or shape or anything else. They'll just, free sticker, I'm down.
Have we found somebody in Jordan yet? Or what was that country we were looking for?
Jersey. Yeah, Jersey hasn't checked in yet.
Jersey, we know you have a couple listeners.
5.
I'll let Seth send that one out.
I'm going to track down their IP addresses. Let's start show up at their house.
It's going to go into the we're going to put it in like a golden envelope and everything. Ooh. Yeah, it'll be fancy. Jersey. Of course, there are 2 listeners in Jamaica so far.
Yeah. So it was probably just me when we were down there a couple of years ago.
That's probably, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I guess here's the story from Pennsylvania. They have passed a law criminalizing secret tracking using devices like AirTags. Violations facing up to 90 days in violators facing up to 90 days in jail. So if you are stalking somebody, stop it. You could go to jail for that too, I guess.
It's like
kind of the dumbest.
It's like such a weird thing, right? Because I understand like U.S. law in like some capacity where like basically if it's not dictated somewhere, then it's kind of up for interpretation. But it's just like weird that like devices used for stalking wasn't outlawed before. Like the whole like AirTag thing is like weird. It's like, well, we actually didn't realize that stalking with GPS stuff was an issue until these AirTags came out. But I've been hearing about like those little boxes that like ex-husbands and ex-boyfriends put underneath their partners' cars for like years now, if not decades. Mm-hmm. So they've definitely existed for a while. So it's just weird that it specifically has to be called out now.
Yeah, those little boxes were expensive. I bought a few of those, but the AirTags, you get them for a much better price, But I've lost a lot of AirTags over the years because the people I'm stalking drive like 3 hours away and I ain't going that far.
Never lost one of those little boxes, though.
Those boxes, they're a little expensive. I'd drive the 3 hours just to get it back. It's like, I'm done stalking you, but can I have the box back?
Well, those boxes, they don't tell the person that you're stalking that they're there, so maybe that's why.
Yeah. True.
The AirTag, it's funny with my AirTags. I have AirTags everywhere. I think we're up to like a dozen, maybe 18 of them so far. And it's funny, like whenever I'm around an AirTag that I own, it'll like start beeping and like telling me, it's like, oh, we found this AirTag near you. And I'm like, that's mine, you dummy.
That's mine.
I can
that's
see
my
it on the Find My. I can ping it right now with my phone.
Yeah, it things like I'm putting a link to a device on Amazon. It's $17.95, which I think is less than an AirTag. It's a mini GPS tracker that will update every 5 seconds. Some of these even have like what are those cell phone card things you can plug in? Yeah. This one has a subscription base, so yeah, it'll check in over cell phone. Yeah, you can definitely be creepy with technology. That turns out.
Thanks for the links.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there's some for $9.
Oh, whoa.
we can go even cheaper. Why not get an ESP, whatever?
They require power, and I'm not going to sit there rewiring power into the car's battery. Just
That's too long, yeah.
Yeah, I just want something that sticks on quickly underneath,
Actually, there's probably they probably don't have them, but what is that thing that Amazon makes? Sidewalk Network, right? So you could use the Sidewalk Network.
Yep.
It would check in the ones that kind of like go around like this. They don't check in every 5 seconds. But you could probably, get every down to like the minute granularity on that kind of thing. But that would definitely do it. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely not GPS or anything, but have you guys used those Tile trackers?
No.
Tile?
Those things are like the Tile before the AirTags came out. They were super popular. But we bought some, I think like a couple months ago. Those are the worst trackers I've ever used in my life. So they don't use like any kind of network or anything. They're just Bluetooth. But your phone can literally be on top of the Tile tracker, and it's like, I don't know where it's at, but we'll notify you if I find it. And I'm like, okay, come on. Because it has to connect via Bluetooth, and if it's not connecting, it doesn't work.
I think they used to, now they have Find My, they have stuff that are built into Apple Find My now. But yeah, they used to have just the Bluetooth versions. So yeah, I'm looking at...
Yeah, just bought the crappy ones.
Yeah. Apple was about to get in trouble for having Find My locked down. They're like, no, Tile, everybody can use it. So here's one for $745. It's not the Tile brand, but basically all that the Find My network is basically looking for is like, you have this rolling ID or whatever that gets looked up or decrypted or whatever. And that device checks in to anybody's phone, because your phone will walk by and see it there. Like anybody's phone could do it. And then the phone checks in with the servers in the sky, and they figure out where things are. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I don't see anything. Oh, there's some Tile stuff in here. I was trying to see if there's any like Sidewalk Network anything out now, but I guess not. It's still in development, but that seems like a really cool, I mean, not that use case, but it's a really cool network that nobody has really started to utilize other than Ring, I guess. It's unfortunate because it is nice. Anyway, don't track people illegally in Pennsylvania or anywhere else for that matter. Don't be creepy.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. If you do want to be creepy, you can watch us on YouTube. No, wait, you can't watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. If you are listening on YouTube, you're not creepy.
You might be. Who knows?
You might be.
We're not going to judge you.
Exactly. You do you. And if you are on Mastodon and you want to follow us on Mastodon, we have our own little Mastodon server on HomeTech.social. I have Seth at, and TJ is TJ at again, and then Gavin is Gavin at HomeTech.social. We're all over there. And there's also what is it? HomeTech at HomeTech.social, I guess. I forget what I put that under. Because I never really go to it. It's a robot that posts show updates and that kind of thing. So whenever we publish a show, it'll get notified on there. And yeah, that's going to wrap up that. We've got some headlines though. We got some new products this week, a bunch of new products. So what do you say we jump to these HomeTech headlines?
Let's do it.
In the pro news space, because really nothing else is going on in there, SnapOne has released a Traid SA1 streaming amplifier featuring all metal chassis, 2x200 watt power delivery, and HDMI ARC ER compatibility, as well as advanced integration in Control 4 and MOIP systems. Kind of a cool product. I noticed they didn't really mention the price on here. I think it's a pretty expensive product. It also supports RIFF, RYFF. Is this anything you guys have heard of? It's like a 192 kilohertz sample rate, 24-bit.
I have never heard of this.
I've never heard of RIFF either. But yeah, if you are in the Control 4 ecosystem, these do integrate really well with that. And this is just a single zone amplifier. Triad's pretty good brand, got pretty good brand recognition and some pretty good amplifiers. So check it out.
Yeah, it does not tell me a price on the website. It just says reserved. So I feel like it's early days for it still. But honestly, it seems like a good deal. I was actually looking for an HDMI eARC compatible amplifier for a set of Sonance invisible speakers. And that is actually harder to come by than you think it is for some reason. So I can see this being a seller if you just want like a basic amplifier with a TV or something like that. I want it with Sonos, but I don't think I'm going to get that. So
yeah, they're working on.
Just have to put a Sonos port with it.
They're working on headphones for you.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Can't. Yeah.
Nicole said she's ready for them still too, just so you know. We're a Sonos headphones family if Patrick Spence is listening.
Send more Sonos. So this Riff thing, I found a press release about Control 4 and Riff, introducing Riff. So maybe it is Control 4's, Control 4's high definition audio stuff. So 192.24 and includes MQA support. Also includes network-based audio synchronization. So this is what basically Control 4 is calling their platform that they use to emulate what Sonos does, right? Because you can use wireless sync audio between different playing services like Pandora, Spotify, Tidal, SiriusXM, and it will play, the audio will play in different zones without, delays or things like that. That's actually always worked really well in Control 4. Even, I don't want to say before Sonos, it was before I was using Sonos. Sonos was pretty popular overseas at the time, and then kind of got more and more popular here in the States. And I was a latecomer to Sonos, but once I started using it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is why people love this thing. But yeah, Control 4's like media streaming stuff always worked pretty well for me. They've definitely improved it over the years. Speaking of things improving, no, wait, this is not an improvement. Ring has introduced a pan tilt indoor camera, which allows for 360 rotation and 196 degree tilt for better monitoring. It has a color HD video and motion alerts. Its camera includes a hardware kill switch and mechanical shutter because it's probably going to be used indoors, which disables both video and audio feeds. Comes in a bunch of colors: black, white, pink, gray, and off-white. Okay, dirty maybe? I don't know. It's priced at $80 and pre-orders are open now. Ships on May 30th. Have you guys looked at this thing? This is probably the single ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I don't understand who thought this was a good design, but we're here. They were using hardware. They must have a lot of these cameras in the warehouse somewhere. They're like, what can we do with these?
Clearly they have more. I mean, there's a pink one here. They're printing, they're not printing. They're like making plastic cases for these things. I just don't know who's like, okay, we've got a round camera. We'll start there, like you're saying. Now we want to motorize the base and make it pan and tilt up and down. Let's make the base bigger than the camera, right? Like, they could have made it the same size, right? And just made it maybe taller. I don't know. It looks so bad. It really looks bad.
Yeah, I feel like I would have just made it one piece, just like make a shell around the whole thing. And just make it like a cylinder.
And Wise has a little pan tilt zoom camera or pan tilt, like it turns, and the camera module itself is kind of like a tilts up and down or whatever. I don't know. This is not. It doesn't look good.
Got some old inventory they got to get rid of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was thinking they're trying to take some old inventory and just add parts onto it. Let's add this cover onto it. Let's add this base. It's not a new product. It's like accessories for an old product in a way.
Somebody was walking around the warehouse and they're like, what is over here in this corner? It's like, going through the box, and it's like, we have so many of these cameras, guys. What are we going to do with them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is a very ugly product. Some of the product shots are quite hilarious. So they have this thing, kind of just like sitting around mounted on walls. I'm like, oh no, this isn't something that I can see the use for something like this, right? Like if you had a pet you wanted to monitor, and you already have a bunch of Ring stuff, you just kind of want to keep an eye on them. Like, it'd be good to plop one of these things down and use it. And the fact that it does have the, the thing that you can close, the little window shade, I guess you can close around it when you're not using it or when you're home or whatever. It does bring some peace of mind, but
I don't like that that's manual either, though. Add a little motor in there. Let me
just make it automatic. That'd be nice.
Turn it from the app,
Well, if they made it a little motor, it'd have another big blocky thing on top of it too.
I guess that's true. And you could turn it on remotely, I guess. So,
God, their design language is so awful. I mean, for the indoor cameras, especially, like the doorbells have always looked pretty good, at least closer to a doorbell than anybody else has been doing. All right, well, let's move on here. LG is doing an update, I guess. LG TVs will now support Dolby Atmos in the Apple Music app through a software update, providing an immersive sound surround experience for users on compatible TV sets. It's interesting. The feature is available on certain 2020 models and later with... So hopefully you get this update and you'll get more ads because you'll have to check the box that says send me ads, LG. But you'll also get the update for Dolby Atmos for your TV and you'll have a fully functional Dolby Atmos TV. This is what everybody wants, right?
Does this give me Dolby Atmos video? Can I see in Dolby Atmos?
I mean, this is like Apple Music has been pushing their immersive thing for a long time. So you really are going to need to have a compatible, like you're not going to get an immersive system off of horrible TV speakers, you're going to have more.
Yeah, you'll have to have a surround sound system, right? So I don't know what Atmos requires you to have, but it will probably resample it into like, if it's 5.1 or whatever, to give you better quality than just stereo, though.
Yeah, I think this is just a play to add more words to their TVs. I mean, it's kind of like when NFTs were coming out. It's like, we've added NFTs to our TVs. And I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, you just need a sticker for your TV box. And it's like, oh, now with Dolby Atmos.
There you go.
And like, yeah.
Just something to sell more TVs.
So yeah, there's a better story that will link flatpanelshd.com that says you'll need to add a compatible soundbar or receiver to have the Atmos signal decoded via HDMI typically. And it's not accessible directly from the Apple Music app. So it on the smart TV. So once they enable this, you'll actually have to go in and have a compatible soundbar system that does Dolby Atmos immersive sound or whatever, to experience this feature.
Sounds like a 1%er feature.
Less than one, like,
yeah.
I don't know, like, it is only in one app, like, I guess, because it's only in the Apple. They're the ones paying the licensing on it. So it's not like it's going to come to anything else. It's just in the Apple Music app, you'll get Dolby Atmos immersive music because Apple wants to pay for that. But you also have to have this other soundbar or surround sound system attached to it. Yay, I guess. Good job, LG. I'm sure when you get this update, you'll plug some more ads into everybody's TVs too. All right. Well, we got this in the hub today. Someone shared this. I think it was Ty shared this story talking about Meross. They're expanding their Matter range with a new smart presence sensor that includes presence detection, motion detection, and a light millimeter Doppler radar technology and a PIR sensor for faster response times. Matter compatible, exposing all sensors to platforms like Google, Amazon, SmartThings, Apple Home, and Home Assistant. The light sensor can also detect ambient light changes in real time. Interesting product. We were talking about this quite a bit before the show. And Gavin, I think you said this is a Me Too product, but I don't know. It looks nice.
It looks cool. They obviously took a few ideas from the community to put this one together. I'm thinking of the Everything
very similar
Presence one, but yeah, I think with Matter right now, we're kind of in a Me Too phase now. So everybody's like converting over their motion sensors, their contact sensors to Matter. Say, we have one too, I think we're just going through that kind of phase.
Me Too Matter.
Yeah. Physically it looks like a pretty nice device if the rendering is actually correct there. I want one with battery power.
Yes.
Running a USB cable to all these sensors is awful. I think I posted a picture of my bedroom light switch the other day because Richard sent me some engraved plates, and I took a picture and somebody was like, what's that cable going down from your wall? I'm like, it's my motion sensor.
Richard's good at pointing out cables down walls. Like, you never send him a picture if you can't handle the response. Yeah.
I will point him out too. I will judge you.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, it's the millimeter wave sensor. Obviously it can't, it will drain a battery. So I'm looking for the day they kind of make that much better, much more battery efficient. And some of the places I want to put these, you can't have like a cord. I might not have power there.
Well, the solution to this is just to get rid of all your current light switches and buy Innovelli presence sensing switches whenever they come out.
That's my next thing. I want to get the Z-Wave with the millimeter wave built in, especially for the bathroom areas. I'm waiting for those.
If you order now, they're only $75 American.
I'll wait till they come out.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be $99 or $89 when they come out. So
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking up how much the power draw is on these millimeter wave things. So I think that's like the only thing really that's new here. We already have battery powered PIR detectors, so it must be like an inefficiency inside of this millimeter wave chip that everybody is using or have started to use, and maybe we just need more efficient millimeter wave chips or something to, or sensors, I guess, to get that down to where they can package it. Just like, I have a wireless motion over there that, I put the battery in that thing maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember. It's still working. Catches me in here every day.
Yeah, PIR is different to millimeter waves. So
I was saying, and they've been refining them for like 40 years now. So
that's true. And millimeter wave has not been out that long. So I guess it's a matter of time, and we'll just have to wait. What we do need is not a bad. I don't want the battery power. I don't really care. Like I want like a wire powered version where it has a terminal on it or something like a normal PIR does, right? Like a security PIR that's not wireless has, you could hook up the little tiny security gauge wire. Was it 22.4 or something like that, and power it with 12 volts. That's all I would like to see, but nobody's doing that. They're giving you these big bulky 5-volt USB cables. So, there's a kitty on our podcast today.
But you won't be able to see it on YouTube.
Nope, sorry.
Nope.
He was driving by to say hi, and say, "Don't take away my cables. I love playing with cables."
Bring in cables.
All the links and topics discussed tonight can be found over in show notes at HomeTech.fm/480. All right, we got a pick of the week this week, and this is a fun one. Do you have trespassers on your lawn? Or just, kids you don't like or something? I don't know. There is a company called Eve who is releasing something called the Paint Can Eve, which is, quote, redefining smart security. And this is what it does. It's got AI face recognition because, you can't actually have a camera or anything these days without AI face recognition in it. But not only will it recognize your face, but will shoot paintballs at you too. This is the craziest thing I think I've ever seen. It's got an app integration. So if you see somebody on your property that shouldn't be there, you can just start shooting paintballs at them. We were trying to look through here to see like how many it had in its little hopper that it could start shooting at you. But yeah, this is wild. I think Jimmy posted this in our Slack channel today, or this week. And this is crazy.
I think Greg pointed out that the accuracy would be very bad with this thing because it doesn't have a long barrel. But I mean,
something starts shooting at you. It doesn't have to be accurate.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's just gonna run no matter what.
Yeah, it's just to chase you away. It's not to really like actually hit you. It's just to scare you. But it's huge. This thing, like, I guess you could compare it to like a spaceman's helmet size big. So I don't know where I would mount this.
I can totally see this being a thing, but the example locations they give you in the Kickstarter are not a thing. I can tell you that right now. At least not in America, I guess. One of them is home. Okay, that's fine. Office, you're going to put one in your office? Okay, probably not. Warehouse, probably not either. Property, yeah, I guess everything is property if you're going to put it somewhere. In your shop, in your restaurant, in a bank, in a villa. So I'm not sure this is actually a real product.
I don't know. It's gotten, it had a decent backing, wasn't it? It was already filled up there. Yeah, 83,000 of the $12,000 goal has been pledged by 65 back. Some people want to use this old paintball gun camera thing.
Oh, I mean, I want to use it. I just don't think this is going to be a real thing. It comes with 50 paintballs, and you can get a UV paintballs as an add-on. So
it's got a laser too. We have some cameras like this now. They're like PTZ cameras that have. We're starting to see these come out. I forget what you. Well, they. I think they have lasers on them, like a green, like a red or green laser. I don't remember.
Laser beams.
But then they also have a. I think Uniview calls it active deterrence or something like that, where they put like little red and blue lights that flash on them.
Oh yeah, those are annoying.
Yeah, I see them driving down the highway now with their blue lights, or they flash on like the side of the road or whatever. And then they also have like the bright LED lights that come on, and for whatever reason, the people that walk around behind our office or whatever, and the light turns on. We caught one guy the other day. He was like, he raised his hands like he was in trouble or something like that. I don't know, it was funny, but yeah, there's all sorts of these like little add-ons that they're putting into cameras now that they can use to kind of like build in right on the camera on the edge of like active deterrence, and having people like suddenly look up at whatever is flashing at them or makes noise, because there's speakers and stuff built into them now where they can say, "Get out of here, you're in the wrong spot." And
or the most annoying one, the Ring one that they added like a couple months ago or a year ago or whatever, where it's like, "You are being recorded," but it says it every time you pass in front of it.
And they just want you to know.
Those are fun when you're working in somebody's house, going in and out of their house.
Here's I think that probably the only thing I would buy from this company that's making this fake camera is the trespassing sign.
I was going to say, you should actually get that and add it to your wall of shame.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably just print this myself or something.
Well, why do that when you can spend 30 euros?
Yeah, exactly, on a sign. Yeah, it says, warning, this property is protected by paint cam. Like, doesn't really tell you that you're going to get shot. But
that's what it should say.
If you're reading this sign, you're getting shot at probably, you know.
I wonder if you get like a bigger hopper. You get 15 CO2 cartridges and 50 paintballs, right? But like, what if you need more?
Yeah, so I think every one of them that you can buy, they only get 50 paintballs. So I feel like that's probably the capacity. Maybe 25 is the capacity. Because you're probably not going to shoot this thing a bunch, right?
Lies. Lies. I will shoot it to all those will be gone in an hour or two.
And then you can buy a subscription, which doesn't even say what the subscription's for, but for 35 euros. 100 paintballs for 35 euros. 50 UV paintballs for 35 euros.
They must know that we're just going to shoot paintballs all day. There's probably some special paintballs that are small.
Oh, maybe that's what the subscription is. Just unlimited paintballs.
I'm out of paintballs again. Send me more.
Are you listening, HP? This is the ink subscription I would pay for.
Don't give them ideas.
Yeah, you're right. They'll be buying this camera company in no time. Well, it's too funny. Who knows if it's real or not, but for what are these things cost? Holy moly.
Yeah, 2,000 euros.
Yeah, I'm going to pass. No, thank you.
What, did you think it was going to be cheap? I'm confused. It's an AI robot that shoots paintballs
out of its face, at your face. Like, this is wild. No, yeah, I don't know. No, it's not going to happen. This is crazy. It comes with a 1-year warranty for defects, and it's not even PoE powered. Come on. I think at minimum they could have done PoE powered paintball cannons.
Is this blue? Does it have blue iris support?
Yeah, Gavin. We need to know how. I bet you could integrate the paintball cannon with blue. I bet somebody already has. That's probably the problem.
Well, does it have an API? Does it have a RTSP stream? You know, like those are all questions. Like, did you read the FAQ?
I did, but it's very, very minimal. Yep, doesn't really say anything. Anyway, they are 600% overfunded. So there you go. Maybe we will have a paintball can. I just don't see these being. These are going to be a liability. Let's just say that. Yeah. Somebody didn't think this through.
I don't see this actually coming to market.
All right. Well, if you have any feedback, questions, comments, great ideas for paintball cannons, send us a shout. Our email address is feedback@hometech.fm. You can visit hometech.fm/feedback and fill out the online form. All right. Project updates. Gavin, do you want to go first? You have any projects? You've been busy at the house. I know you got house projects going on.
House projects I've been working on, but public service announcement. Usually there's like 4 of these a week, but Home Assistant 2024.5 was released this week, so I've upgraded. Seth is probably going to upgrade live on the show. No issues. Honestly, it's not a very exciting update from the front end. But there's a lot of work going on in the back end and a lot of plugin updates. So they're plugging away, but you know what? We got a couple months, the last few months, we got some major updates. So it's been good. I'm okay with it, but word of advice, just keep your Home Assistant up to date as it comes along. It makes it easier to upgrade later on. What? What's a laugh for there?
I'm updating right now. So I figured so. I'm laughing because I've been working on Home Assistant, and I was just looking through to see what features they have added in here. So
it's nothing exciting this week. There's some tweaks to the interface that they've made.
There's some improved audio for ESP Home.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So a lot of back end stuff, nothing flashy like the last couple releases.
The new debug mode. All right. Well, I have it. It's updated now. It was actually a pretty quick update. And it's found a new device. I do not know how to get rid of this message. Every day I have a new device. I can dismiss it. It finds a new device. I don't get that much stuff. You guys know I don't install that much, so definitely not much coming into the system. CJ, what have you been up to?
Yeah, so I don't know, it's probably been a month or two ago. I got sent these Brilliant switches. They sent me the hardwired version, the 2-gang hardwired version, and then they sent me, I guess, the low voltage version, the 2-gang low voltage version. I actually got the low voltage version installed. I actually have it off the wall right now. I was going to bring it for a show and tell here. It's actually a pretty cool device. I actually like the way it mounts. So the mounting bracket installs on the wall, and then you slide the tablet thing to the bracket, which makes it super easy to install. If you've installed like touchscreens in the past, they're usually connected with some kind of wire, and then as like you're putting it on the wall or taking it off the wall, you have to mess with the wire, and that's always annoying. So it's kind of a good thing they fixed that issue with that. And it just connects via USB. So realistically, you could just extend the wire to wherever you want, and then run into like a rack or into a different room or something like that, and you just snip the wire and extend it. So
nice.
That's kind of nice for installation purposes. I got it installed. I don't have too many devices that it actually works with. The integration list actually has quite a bit of stuff, but I only have Lutron, Sonos, and LifeX that I can control with it. Everything seemed to work pretty easily, and actually getting the LifeX or the Brilliant switch set up initially was actually really easy. If you followed me on Threads recently, you know that I've not been having a good week with technology, and so it's nice to have something that just worked right out of the box. It was kind of amazing.
Nice.
Have you guys seen these at all? Those the Brilliant switches? Have you used it, played with it, or anything like that?
No,
I have not. No, these are you held it up and flashed it pretty quickly, so I didn't really get to take a look at it.
Yeah, it's like the half touchscreen, half switch product. And I forget, it was bought by somebody. I forget who it was bought by though. It's Residio. Residio bought it, didn't they?
Maybe I'll go check right now. But didn't they have a lower cost product that came out recently, like for light switches?
Yeah, they had like a regular like dimmer switch. I think it's like $80 or something. Brilliant smart dimmer switch, $70. That one doesn't look too bad. But honestly, the traditional Brilliant switch is kind of cool. I didn't realize it actually had an intercom and camera built into this.
Oh, wow. And
so you can actually look into your room or wherever you've installed it at. The camera quality isn't the best. I would think it's like 480p or 720p. But it's like enough to like look in or something. I don't know how many light switches actually have a camera built into them. And it actually has an intercom too, so you can use your app to actually talk back and forth with the light switch as well. And so I could see this being an alternative to like the whole house intercoms that people used to install everywhere.
Yeah, the camera thing is kind of weird though. Like I would probably want it without the camera.
Yeah, I feel like there's a way to disable that. But yeah, the camera thing is a little weird because like if you install it in your bedroom or something, like just a camera in your bedroom all the time.
We have a no eyeballs in the house policy. So yeah, it wouldn't.
You leave your eyeballs outside whenever you come in?
You got to take them off at the door.
And just take them right out.
It's like a Beetlejuice at my house.
Taking off your shoes.
Yeah.
No, but one thing that I can't stop thinking about though is I know they're not going to do it, but I think if they open this thing up to Home Assistant, I think, and just like hubs in general, like smart things and everything else, I think they would sell a ton because I always see people asking about touchscreens and tablets that they can mount on their wall. And nobody really offers like a good solution for that. And I think this is a decent enough solution, especially the low voltage version, where you can just basically mount it wherever you want. You don't have to have an existing, power or two gang switch or anything like that. And you can mount it wherever you want, and that would give you good smart home control. So I think if they open that up, I think it'd be really popular for that, because it is overall a very nice device.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing where they were bought by anybody. That they may have had investments or something like that. But
maybe I made that up.
I think they're still just kind of doing their own thing right now. It's kind of nice.
Maybe I just saw them at ADI and I was confused, and I was like, well, ADI obviously bought them.
Residio they have a partnership with Residio for probably selling within the stores or something. That or maybe
sense.
Integrating with the Residio line of stuff too.
Yeah, well, it is compatible with Residio Total Connect, I think they said. So that makes sense, actually. I knew there was some kind of weird partnership because I've seen them at ADI, and that's kind of weird to see that kind of stuff at ADI.
Yeah, they're moving. They've got their own kind of like ecosystem set up around this. So I guess good for them. There's not very many of these left. These little smaller companies that have done something well and just kind of keep plugging away.
Yeah, and I like the consistency of it, right? Because I have the hardwired version and I have the low voltage version, and they look very similar. Obviously, different depths and all that good stuff because they are different products, but they look very similar to each other, and that's kind of nice for consistency's sake. Usually, when you get into these kind of devices, the different technologies, they look a little different, but these don't have that problem.
Yeah, it works with smart things. Why wouldn't they start working on a home assistant thing? It'd be nice,
right? Yeah, and I think it'd be a big seller in the Home Assistant crowd because they're always looking for touchscreens. I don't know, like I think the Home Assistant crowd likes cheap touchscreens, so I'm not sure.
Maybe it's not worth your time, yeah.
But I mean, if your option is $400 or something you have to cobble off the shelf, maybe you'll choose the $400 option.
I would every time, probably. It's not going to happen.
I think that's most people, right? I think most people are going to be like that because they don't want to just hack something together and throw it in their living room.
Yeah. Especially something that hooks up to mains power. It could cause a fire.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what this is USB. So I mean, you just run into any USB plug and you're good to go.
Right.
And easily cut it and all that good stuff, extend it. So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I just wish it didn't have the camera in there. Everything else I like.
Yeah, I don't see like a physical turn off for the camera, but.
Well, I say everything else I like. I don't like I'm not a fan of the little up and down switchy thing. Not sure about that, but.
I made that up. There is a physical turn off for the camera. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's got a little slide. It's a little manual slide. You just slide it over and it covers the camera.
No eyeballs.
Exciting.
That's right. And then oh my gosh, this week has not been fun with technology. I spent the past like 5 days and I don't even know how many hours fixing my LifeX path lights, these things that I was so excited to buy. And I was like, I'm going to buy these things. They're going to be great. And I knew in the back of my head, I was like, I'm going to regret this purchase eventually, but they look fun and I'm all about fun. So I bought them. I connected them originally to Home Assistant via Matter. So I opened Home Assistant. I added a Matter device. I scanned the code. It added and everything was good. Right. And then I eventually had a problem and I had to update it with the LifeX app, which that was fine. And then it lost the Matter network via Home Assistant and it just stopped working. But the LifeX app still worked fine. And so I reached out to the support and they're like, hey, does the app work? Does the app work? And I was like, yep, works fine. Everything turns on and off. I can change colors and everything. And they were like, okay, that's pretty much it.
You're good to go.
And I was like, well, no, guys, like it's Matter compatible and it's not working with my Matter stuff. I need it to work with my Matter stuff. And I waited, like, it's been like 2 or 3 days. I don't know how long, honestly. And so I just gave up and I just factory reset them, which then, of course, caused more issues because I couldn't get it connected to Wi-Fi for some reason. So in my house, I have a couple different Wi-Fi networks going on. I have our main Wi-Fi, which is just, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz mixed together. I don't really care about that one. It's just what everybody connects to. I have another Wi-Fi network. This is going to get bleeped out, I guess, but it's called Shitty Wi-Fi. And it's just, that's where all my 2.4 gigahertz only devices connect to, right? And so that's like my Aquara FP2 sensors. They only connect to 2.4. And so I got those connected to that network and they work fine. Well, I tried to connect the LifeX lights to that one because it does require a 2.4 gigahertz network only. And it wouldn't work for some reason. And I spent countless hours. I feel like I spent like 8 hours on these stupid lights. And I contacted LifeX and they're like, well, you have an open ticket for this going on. And so we're not going to be able to help you. And I was like, I know, but this is like a different issue. Can you help me with this issue? And they're like, no, we can't really do anything because it's like the same problem. And I was like, it's not the same problem though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like a different problem. And so like they tried to help me and they couldn't figure it out. My solution was to just create a separate SSID for my front yard. I have an access point in the front yard.
Yep.
I created a separate network for just my front yard and I named it even shittier Wi-Fi. And it worked instantly.
Yep. It probably needed to, you probably have more, do you have more than one access point?
I have 3 altogether.
Yeah, so it's confused as to which one to connect to, and it never connects to the right one, and so therefore...
I guess so, but even the other one isn't that far away from it, so I mean, realistically, it should have been fine, and I had it set up over Matter, which uses Wi-Fi, And that still worked. So I'm not really sure what was going on there, but it works fine now.
Networking is the problem.
After I spent like 12 hours on it. So that's my life X woes.
It sounds like you bought printers for your front yard.
God. And it's like, and I was like, man, I don't even want to buy more now, because it's like, they work fine now, but it's like, so I want to buy more? I don't think I want to buy more. So I decided to go ahead and double down this week, and I bought more technology, and I bought a robot lawnmower. I'm joining the ranks of Seth over here.
One of us. One of us.
We just need to get Gavin on the bandwagon now.
Yes.
Where's Rose's number so I can send her one?
I'm the one that I wanted it the most, but man, like for my yard, I need a more expensive one.
Yeah, and to be fair, you probably have a bigger yard than I do too. So I'm just being lazy.
Yeah, and I have some inclines, so because of the steepness of some of those inclines, I'll have to get a more expensive one that can handle them. So
yeah, you have to buy the Lubba or whatever.
Yeah, I'm jealous, so jealous.
I bought the Segway i110N. This is their second newest one they came out with. I think this one's good for 1/4 of an acre. The reason I bought it is because it uses the RTK vision, which does not need the boundary wire to like operate, which I'm all about, right? Because I have this beautiful fenced-in yard that we just completed, and I just want the robot lawnmower to go everywhere within the fence. Like, it's not going to go outside the fence. I'll still cut the front yard. I'm fine with that, but it just stays in the backyard. So I get it Friday. I spent more money than I was expecting to spend, but not really. I was expecting to spend between $500 and $1,000 on like a used Husqvarna robot lawnmower. So I just stepped up to like $1,400. Don't tell the CFO.
She's behind you.
I just looked. She's not. We're good.
I know that. You see, when I first looked at the lawnmowers, they were all in the $3,000 range for a good one, right? But you know what? They've come down significantly in price. In my neighborhood, I need to make sure that they have theft detection and, insurance if someone steals it, because I just have a feeling someone's going to drive up and just grab the thing.
That's why you need the paintball camera.
Deal. Can they make an accessory to mount onto the robot lawnmower, like a paintball cannon?
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
No, but that's why, like, I just don't care about the front yard as much, and like the front yard doesn't really take me that long. But it's like the backyard that I actually walk around and enjoy. It's like I just want that to be mowed all the time, and so I'm also not putting it out front though, because I don't want it stolen or just like run in the road and somebody runs it over.
Yeah,
can't imagine coming home and seeing my $1,400 robot lawnmower just ran over.
No good.
So the problem is people will steal it, realize it doesn't work for them, and they won't return it. At least return it. Like if you stole it and realize it didn't work, at least return it so it can continue mowing. But they won't even return it. They'll just throw it in the garbage. That's one thing I'm afraid. Where Seth lives, he can leave Halloween candy out and they'll take one piece.
Yeah, they sit there and eat the piece and watch the mower run around in the yard. And
yeah, in our neighborhood, we leave that Halloween candy bowl out, and you're short one bowl and all the candy.
And they took your window and your car.
Yeah, and they leave a note like, "That's all."
We're coming back for your copper tomorrow.
Yeah, so I got to move.
That's why you're improving the house right now. So it's resale value.
Yeah, I got to move to a nicer neighborhood.
It's too good. Too good. Well, yeah, somebody comes up with that's what the next Kickstarter will be covering is a lawnmower with the little hood mounted paintball cannon built into it.
Or a taser. That'd be cool.
Lasers.
Taser and lasers.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Got the i110 that's coming in, and you're going to get it Friday, you said. So
yes, it was so originally it said May 12th through the 19th, and then updated and it was like it'll be here Saturday. And I looked at it today and it was like it'll be here Friday. And I was like, yeah, come here tomorrow, because it's only like I think it's like an hour and a half away right now. So realistically, it could show up tomorrow.
Man, and here I am still waiting on my 3D printer that I ordered like 2-3 months ago.
It was probably delivered last week, but somebody stole it.
It actually showed up last week and Rose just took it.
Yeah.
She's like, he doesn't need this.
It's a marketplace.
Not till these other projects are done.
He has enough. He has enough printer problems as it is. Oh God, I'm in trouble.
What do you got going on, Seth?
I have a ratio upgrade coming. I'm swapping out my old beehive for a 4-zone beehive that only operates 3 zones for an 8-zone ratio. The office is sending one because I do development on ratio, but I've never had one. So it's kind of always been like a remote thing or kind of VPN in and work on it here. So they were swapping stuff out at the office and they're like, hey, you want this old ratio? And I'm like, heck yeah, send it to me. So now I've got, I'll have 8 zones. So I got 5 left to fill up my pool with. So maybe I can figure out how to do that. I need a pool first and the pipes that go to the pool.
Don't you live like by a lake or something or a river?
It's a creek and
use that.
No.
Oh, perfect. That's a body of water.
Yeah, it's technically water. I'm not sure what grows. I mean, Florida is very famous for the brain eating amoebas or whatever.
Oh,
yeah. Don't go swimming in Florida water. The alligators will eat you. If you don't get that, you'll get some kind of staph infection that will eat your brain. So yeah, Florida water's bad.
Either way, you will die.
Yes, it's out to kill you here. We're just.
It's like Australia, but
just go to the theme parks. They're okay. It's mostly safe. All right.
Wait, are they? Because I thought they shut down that one from Disney because of the brain eating disease.
It probably, yeah. And then okay, so I started working on my Shelley issue last week. I talked about it about being threatened with a civil divorce court over these Shelley lights somebody couldn't turn off. And since I only had the app on my phone, I was like, well, I'm not going to install another app on my wife's phone. I need to get it back into the Control4 system and working. And there's a couple of Shelley drivers, but they don't do exactly what I want them to do. And Home Assistant kind of does exactly what I want it to do, but there's no integration between Control4 and Home Assistant. Until now, I have made a Control4, that's FOR, assistant driver. And so if you want, I'm going to come out with it. I'm going to finish this off and make it, because the API for Home Assistant is actually nice. Gavin, thank you. You can do anything on Home Assistant, which is kind of crazy. Basically, the API that you use for development on Home Assistant is kind of it's weird coming from Control4 World or RTI or all the professional spaces, even Crestron for that matter. The way they have developed over time, because they're older products, they have a software application you run, typically in Windows, that you use to create a configuration file that is compiled or pushed over to the controller, and it runs on the controller off that configuration that you build with whatever software. There's no APIs for that. That's all private behind the scene APIs for those control systems. Or it takes literally a USB cable and what was it? URC used to do Windows mobile drivers or something. You'd have to transfer the configuration over. It was awful. With Home Assistant, I mean, all of the stuff that you can do through their front end interface that you use, Gavin, you can do through the API too. So if you if you want to look at your configuration for Home Assistant, you can just open that up and it's right there. It's printed out right in their API. You can edit things. You can add devices, the device page where I was just kind of joking a minute ago about what devices were discovered and how, you can add them in. You can just add them in. It gives you the ability to do that. So that's the back end API that the front end of Home Assistant sits on top of, that we all know and love and YAML about. So it's kind of nice to actually get down into the nuts and bolts of things. I guess you can do that through the front end. I've never been able to figure that out very well, but the back end made a lot more sense to me because it's kind of a language that I speak. And, I was able to, get my lights working with it, exactly how I wanted to. I've got all 3 lights switching on and off at the same time with a push button. I sent you guys a video on that, of me pressing a button on my wall. And it turns on and off the lights. And I actually, since it's integrated right with Control4, it essentially driver that's in the Control4 system that kind of communicates various ways over to the Home Assistant, and everything stays in sync too. So it's kind of nice. It's a 2-way driver. If the Shelley lights turn on, the little light on the Control4 keypad turns on. So everything stays in sync. And Home Assistant has a decent thing. So I'm there's some RGB lights and things, not just like on and off. Like there's dimming and RGB, RGB integrations you can do with Home Assistant. So I'll kind of start tinkering around with that because it's basically it's the same. Like the way all these home automation platforms are structured. There's only so many ways you can do things, and it's all kind of like the same, right? So what Home Assistant calls one thing, like services, I guess, is kind of like what Control4 would call maybe a proxy or a protocol or something. And you're sending more of a proxy, I guess, because you're sending the messages through those services down through Home Assistant's back into the device. And it works almost the same way on Control4. So the messaging is almost the same. If you know both of them, you can bridge them together. So I'm going to keep working on it. It seems like it's going to be a fun little project. Now I'll probably publish this out on it. But yeah, it works pretty well. What's cool about it is it can be two-way, instant. There's plenty of ways to bridge the two things together. One of the fun things I found was there's since you can do anything from Home Assistant that's in their API, you can actually tell if there's an update that's needed. So on a keypad, I turned a little yellow light on if it needs an update, and I press it, or red, I guess, and then I press it turns yellow while it's updating, and then when it's green, there's no update that's needed. So
wow, that's fancy.
I can update anytime. Just press the button on the wall. Boop, done.
Can you hit that button for me, please?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. The Home Assistant AV APIs leave a lot to be desired. They're very basic. Like more in line with what you would use for like a streaming media stuff. Control4, Elan definitely have a leg up when it comes to that, but that's not what Home Assistant really is focused on or designed for. So I can't hold that against them. But as if you wanted to I guess this is my way of saying I'm probably not going to touch that until last, like doing like AV integrations and like zone integrations and media player integrations. I'm probably not going to do that till last, but it can be done though. That's kind of nice.
That is pretty cool, Seth. That sounds more productive than me. So
You do listen to me when I talk. That's what I got out of this.
It just took 2 years or something.
Yeah. I knew you'd come around.
I don't know. Like this little platform can do a little bit more than randomly tell me if my printer is out of paper or not. I mean, this is one way that Control4 is going to get some printer integrations, because after I do lights, I'm definitely doing printers. Like if I'm definitely going to integrate printer paper quantities on my Control4 system for some reason. I don't know why anybody would want that, but there you go. Printer's out of toner. Flashlights done. Anyway, that's my Control4 assistant driver. And I'm just like, what's not a copyright violation that Control4 will get angry about? So
no, don't worry, we'll still get sued.
Yeah, probably. They'll be angry about it for some reason.
They're busy with other things right now, so maybe they'll just be distracted.
Yeah, it's like now they have to be quiet about things.
I think they have other reasons to be mad at you, though. So,
oh, that reminds me, it's time to go rename the Facebook group.
Oh yeah,
it's been 29 days.
You should mess up the name one more time. You should name it Control5.
I slipped. I can't name it for another. I better not record this. This is going to be used in the legal proceedings.
Control S.
$.
Rename it Josh AI.
Whoops. Oh, man. Yep. I better go rename it. I'll do that. Someone I remember to go on Facebook. All right. I think that's going to wrap up this week. We do want to give a big thank you to everyone who supports the show and listens, but especially those who are able to financially support through our Patreon page. If you don't know about the Patreon page, head on over to HomeTech.fm/support to learn how you can support HomeTech for as little as $1 a month. Any pledge over $5 a month gets you a big shout out here on the show, but every single pledge gets an invite to our private Slack chat, The Hub, where you and other supporters of the show can gather in there and talk and see all these fun stories that we talked about. The paintball gun. There's some other funny things that were happening today, and I was trying to follow along, but not having a good day. And I'm like, I'm kind of grumpy. But yeah, I think like you guys were talking about what was the little monitor thing? David got the S3 thing, the little monitor home.
Oh, yeah, S3 box.
Yeah, for the cute local voice assistant.
That's pretty cool looking.
It's adorable looking. I gotta admit that looks like a fun little piece of kit to have. I have one of these awful Unify switch things. I don't know. You ever seen one of these?
Oh, yeah. Those things are expensive.
Are they?
I think so. I think it was several $100s.
Well, it's awful. Don't buy one.
Yeah. Well, I figured it would be.
It runs Home Assistant, or the Washington Post, I guess.
That's the Ubiquity one?
Yeah.
Is that for their Protect lineup or something else?
It's for their signage thing.
Oh, yeah. I forgot they had that.
I don't know. I installed Firefox on it because I was tired of their app crashing all the time. I guess this one was when they were doing the pre-launch products, and it's a 6-inch screen, and I don't know. I guess the new ones are better, but they have like 20-inch screens now, and I don't want a 20-inch screen.
Yeah, they have the current one is a 21.5-inch PoE touchscreen, but it's $700.
Well, this one's PoE, right? So it's PoE back. There's a little mount kit that goes on it. They got all that extremely right. The hardware, not so much. Like it's a little underpowered for what it needs to be. I liked to use it for the Protect app, but it would always crash. And I have one of those horrible $10 Amazon tablets sitting over here that works a little bit better and crashes a little bit less than Ubiquity's own product with their own app running on it. So from what I was reading on the forums, there's really no support on them because they were never officially released. And people say they're probably not getting any updates anymore. So I put Firefox on it and loaded Home Assistant while I was working on the Control4 driver so I could see the lights turn on and off in the other room. I forgot. That's another project I guess I did. It's part of I'll start posting more in our hub if you're in there, and you'll see some of the fun stuff I'm working on. Looks like there's more robot mower news in there now. Jeez. What's going on now?
It's just all robot lawnmowers now.
Man.
And want to know the best thing, Seth? Nobody even has to give us money to get stickers sent to them. All you have to do is send us your address at feedback@HomeTech.fm, and I'll mail you stickers at some point. Who knows when it'll happen? Maybe it'll happen before I go to Florida and see Seth in person.
Yeah, he's going to bring me stamps. All right. If you want to help out but can't support financially, we just appreciate a 5-star review on iTunes or positive rating in the podcast app of your choice to help people find the show. That's going to wrap up another week of news here on HomeTech. Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Till next time.
Take care. And done.
What title are we going to rip off from Resi Week this week?
I saw that, but what else were we going to say?